All right, what's going on, everybody? Today is what is today? Today's Tuesday, May 9th, Tuesday. So we got a Wednesday trading day and potential midweek reversals happening today and tomorrow. We'll see. We'll go over some of the pairs and what happens. I've been trading a live prop firm account and I had my trades in from the yesterday's call. I had NZD Chief, USD Chief, and CAD Chief. I took out my profits. I went to sleep. I was up almost 3% in profit, and I went to sleep and I missed it. Didn't get to take it out, but I do believe I did pull out with only 1%, but I mean it was still a gain. Definitely could have got more, but it is what it is. You take what you can. You take what you can, and you just keep moving forward. So I'm gonna keep looking at re-entries for those pairs because I still see them going up, and with CPI news tomorrow there could be a solid push in that general direction that I want it to go. So we're gonna see. CAD Chief still looks solid for a buy. Like, damn man, like take a buy here, put a pending down here, and just see what happens. Like, watch it move, and it's gonna go up. But uh, the first pair I'm gonna go over is US 30. I don't usually trade this pair, but special request, we're gonna go over it and see what we can do. Overall, let me go to. All right, I'm already on it. Okay, cool. Let me look at the weekly real quick. I mean, it's in a range on the weekly, but it's still technically, I didn't take out the high. So this thing is up high in a range, so it could drop just from a weekly perspective. But I'm looking at intraday. So the daily is working itself down. It set a high, it set a peak, and then it dropped, set another peak, still above the 50. It's just kind of making its way down like this. Like, could do that. It could do this, which based on how I'm looking at the candlesticks right now, it looks like that's what it is gonna do. It's kind of like this. Ready? Look, this is how I know. Look at this. How it kind of had two candles. One, two, kind of price still pushing down with wicks, right? And then you have the same thing going on over here. One, two, bullish or bearish candles with the continuation. And usually when I see these are consolidation zones. Those are levels. So when price moves down a certain path like this candle right here, clear it. This candle broke this structure. Then it pulled back, consolidation level one, drop. But then it had news, right? I don't trade this pair, and it's because of it being on a higher time frame range, it will not always drop 3 levels. It can reverse on the second level, and that's why you have to be careful with it. So I think what happened here, damn it, that was bad. Right here could also happen right here, and that this is going to be the next push up. So let's take a look. 4 hour. Okay. I don't really see any divergence, but because it's in a range, doesn't always need it. It's just an extra confirmation. We have the low here, broken structure here, right? So broke structure right here. And this might be a level one. And I think this is the 4 days, right? Let me correct me if I'm wrong. Hold on. Peak formation low, 4 days. Yeah, so it's technically the peak formation low is here. So if that's the peak formation low on the 1 hour, then this was definitely the structure needed for a confirmed buy again. And that this whole push up was level one, consolidation, drop, level two. Level two push will take out this high right here and potentially make its way back up to this high. Right. So if we see that, I mean, just from where price is at right now, what is that? 3,400 pips. So you get a solid move on that, and that's kind of what I'm seeing with it. I don't really see this thing dropping right now. I still think this is going to go up, but I don't trade this pair. So for those of you that do trade US30, if anything of what I said made sense, then that's only going to give you extra confirmation. But I do see this rising. And we'll see how that plays out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a map, a little directional thing of what I think it can do going into tonight. And I'll leave it there for tomorrow. Damn it. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. So we'll see what happens. We'll come back to that. Now, I'm going to go over the pairs that I traded, because those are the pairs I'm most likely going to be looking at tonight. But I'll go over some of the dashboard stuff as well. So I had this for a continued buy, kind of like the same reason of what I just went over in US30. It broke structure. Oh wow. Geez, it broke structure right here, right? So then this would be the level 1 push, consolidation, level 2 push. That's why I've been holding it for a buy, but I didn't want to keep holding it, mainly because right now it's divergent. You have price going up, you have TDI going down, which means it could do this, then up. So I'm going to be waiting tonight just to see what it does, because this might be a straight shot. This doesn't always have to pull back, but this could just kind of bounce off of this water here, this potential zone, and just continue. If not, then we'll definitely be looking for it to pull back. Let me see, the 1 hour. It could pull back to this zone right about here, which would be, that's funny, right on Mayo. Right. So that would be, if it does drop, this is the zone I'd be looking for it to drop into. But we'll see how that finalizes. And then once it drops, I'll take the buy. And then we got, so that was CAD Chief. I got NZD Chief. This one is also divergent. Not fully, but because of, it is divergent, but doesn't have a head or a shark fin. And when I don't see that, that technically means price could just keep consolidating in that direction, right? It could just keep going up. So I'm going to see what it does. My gut told me this morning that it was going to drop a little bit more. It's rising up right now, but I still think that it's still premature. So I think waiting for a potential drop here is going to be the best bet. And the TDI is going to look something like this, right? That's ideally what I'm going to be looking for. So I'm going to be looking for buys. Oh, someone wants to enter. Okay. So yeah, I'll be looking for buys continued on NZD Chief for sure. Then we got USD Chief. That was the other pair I traded. Delete this. Hoping I can pass this prop from phase 1 in the next week. I'm almost there. I'm at like what? I need to get up to this. I need 12,000 more. So I literally need like 5%. About 6% actually. Is it 5? 25? No, it's about 5%. Yeah. So it's been ranging in the psychological zone so far. It doesn't really have, out of all the pairs, out of the 2 pairs, CAD Chief and NZD Chief, this is the only one that doesn't have like a definite rise. Now, the only thing that I like for it to be a potential rise is the fact that it's still divergent on the weekly, on the daily, I'm sorry, which just tells me that I will expect this to push up to that zone and break this high. I could get in early depending on how it looks, but my gut's telling me it's best to kind of just wait, because it's stuck in the middle right now. So if I go to like the 1 hour, so you got a low here, the high here, and then you got price stuck, right? So this could just be saving up for CPI news, and that this will finish that reversal to the upside, to this high, which lines up with the blueberry, and this will be that buy. So I mean, my gut says that's what's going to happen, but we're going to be careful and see what we could do. The other two pairs for sure are going to go up. That's where my money's at. I'm not in the trades right now, but I'm waiting. See now, what is it? USD Chiefs dropping right now. So I mean, it's still the middle of Asian session, so we still got what, like 5-6 hours, 7 hours before London session, which is 3 a.m. 8 Eastern. So we got time for it to play out. I'm gonna let it do its thing and see what it does, but I'm gonna be mainly looking for buys. So let's go to here. Let's see what happened with Chief JPY last night. This thing said it was a peak formation low and that we should have been looking for buys. Did it say this? Yeah, pretty sure. So we'll go to Chief JPY. Yeah, that's right. So it built up price. Wow, this was literally textbook. This was a textbook setup. So you have price divergent, flat across, overextended shark fin, clear indication of what was going to happen. And then price just shot up. You could have entered literally right here, right off of that candle. The moment it closed back above the high or the low, this previous day low, would have been your confirmation. So yeah, that was a nice setup. I didn't trade this pair though, mainly because I was in the other pairs, so I didn't want to over leverage. So I kept it the way I kept it simple. But yeah, this still looks good. It's consolidating. Go to the daily. It's an uptrend overall. Weekly still says it could potentially drop. So what it could do is that, hold on, give me 1 second. No. So what we could see, if this does drop, it's going to push up another day, right? If this is a solid peak, which I mean, it hasn't broken any significant structure, which is here. This is, for it to be a solid sell, it needs to break this structure. It hasn't done that yet, so it's still technically buy, and sells be premature. But if this is overall going to sell into that positioning of being a more confirmed selling area, we want to see it push up a little bit more. Now, it could push up as high as here. Right? This is the institutional candle from this point right here. Zoom in a little bit more. This is the institutional candle. Oop, sorry guys. Right here. This is the last bullish push up before price dropped. And on top of that, it formed a new high. So it took out the equal highs right here. All the sellers that got in early. And they extended it, stop hunt high, and then they dropped it, continued, right? So that tells me that that was a peak. And that confirms overall the direction we want to go. So if we want to see price go anywhere, it needs to push up to this potential ADR high or a little higher. If not here at this peak, maybe from here over, right? We would want to see it go into that zone, and then it would probably sell. Probably look for an imbalance or some sort of order block in that sense. But this is an imbalance right here. Let me zoom in. Give me a sec. Okay. So there is an imbalance, two imbalances. We have one here. And we have one here. And they filled this imbalance right here. Right. So if anything, we could see price shoot up to this one. And if it hits that and it closes back beneath it, then this is going to go that way. So this could potentially keep pushing up. We'll see how it goes. I don't see any indication for it to drop right now. I'm going to keep going with the direction of the peak, but I'm probably not going to trade this pair. just because it's not on my radar right now. It's not what I'm looking for. And it's on top of that, it's stuck in between the EMAs here. They're really tight. The 4 hours got the water and the ketchup intertwined. Other than that, it's still uptrend. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not really paying close attention, but this could keep going up. And then we have a couple of blinking pairs that are going to retrace. Those are going to change soon. I'm not worried about those. Oh man, all these are 4-day peak formations. This is wild. No gold check marks, like I said before. Like, this is the first time I've seen this dashboard with no gold check marks, meaning everything's continuing. And then I got Euro Chief. I'll go over that. This one actually had a gold check mark yesterday, and this one played out the way it should have. It went with the direction of the actual peak. So had a peak formation high here, and then dropped first day, second day, and then here we were looking for that stop punt high. So price dropped, had a London session push in the opposite direction, could have caught that. And the way you could have caught that was by this. It threw a W, a shark fin W, mind you. So right here, outside of the volatility band, came back in, entry off of the close of that candle because that completed the W. And let me show you that it is a W. Right there. It actually looks like a mini, looks like a smaller time frame inverted head and shoulders. Let me see. I go to like the 1 minute. See what it gives me. What would you look at that? Almost is. I mean, it's divergent for sure. Price is going up here. But it's not like a definite invert, like a shark fin. So like maybe the 5 minutes better. So here. Oh yeah, look at that. Yep. So you have price going down, solid inverted W, shark fin, oversold. But you could have entered in two places. You could have entered here, or you could have entered here off of the wicks. And if you caught that move alone is 21 pips. It's not a lot of pips because it's a Euro Chief pair. It doesn't really have a lot of movement, but it's a solid pair. And then New York came around and it ended up reversing. You could have caught this whole move down too. But I'm not awake during New York, so I don't worry about that. And now we're starting to see some divergence happening again. So let me delete this one. The peak formation is still high. So you ideally want to keep looking for the sells, but I think that this thing is actually setting up for a reversal. So you have divergence there, price going down. This could be the left shoulder. This could be the indefinite peak that started the beginning of the day, gapped down. And then it pushes up, breaks structure, pulls back, entry, buy. That's what that tells me. So if you are looking for anything, this would be the only time I tell you to like, oh yeah, go against the peak. But that's up to you. It's retested the zone down here, didn't break it. It looks like it's gonna go up. We'll see how it goes. It's not anything on the 1 hour, no divergence on the 4 hour. I mean, it's getting a nice wick here that closes in the next 28 minutes. If it closes like this, that's pretty accurate. It's a solid confirmation. So then we could potentially see that. I wouldn't buy it until you saw a nice break of structure to the upside in between these zones. From the high of this rectangle to the low of it. If it breaks one of those, that's when you start looking for the buys, pullbacks, and then go from there. Okay. Is there any pairs you guys specifically want me to go over? Because there's no new formations going on. I mean, I can go over a couple of them. I like CAD JPY, but that one's still stuck. Let me just kind of run through these and see if there's anything that sticks out. So you got 80 Chief. Okay, that one broke structure. 80 Chief. Could we try the NASDAQ and gold? Yeah, I could try gold and NASDAQ. So this one broke. This is kind of like the same area of the Chief pairs that I was looking at, CAD Chief and NZD Chief. So it broke structure to that high. It is divergent, which leads me to believe that the pullback. It kind of has the same exact setup as CAD Chief, where it's divergent. It's riding the two EMAs. So anything could tell me like look for, and on top of that, it's like showing the formation of a continued move down, which would just look like this drop. So I do see this dropping, and then from there look for the buying potentials. Because it did break the spot. It broke that structure. So we got a new high. So all it needs is a new low, and a higher low. If it gets the higher low, we're in the game. We're in the money. People are making money. I mean, look at that. It's a massive W. Like you can't get more clear than this. Break a structure, pull back, rise. It's textbook right there. So that's what I'm looking for. Some sort of pullback, rise. And because it's a Chief pair, they might all go in sync with each other. Not all the time. You don't want to always just assume that because this is a Chief pair that all the other ones are going to do the same thing, like USD Chief, NZD Chief, CAD Chief. But it can lead you to suspect some sort of similar patterns to come. And then from there, you got to keep it distinct based off the pair you're on. So I'll be looking at that tonight. Then you said gold. We can go over gold real quick. That one has a peak formation. Got a peak formation high. So it's still technically versions of a sell. Yeah, I actually had this pair for a drop the other night, but I didn't take it because I took the other pairs. So I had it going up from here. What I drew up was from here and then for a sell. But it's actually extending that push up right now. And it looks like it's actually going to continue to push up. I got no divergence on this 1 hour, so this thing could just continue to go like that. But let me look at the daily. Oh yeah, it still has that high. It took out the equal highs, so it's still valid for a sell. Got all those wicks to the upside, but the weekly isn't showing any sign of it slowing down momentum, which is interesting. The monthly's got a new high, broke the structure over here. It's probably just going to take a while for it to play out, but the weekly still says it's buys. It's above the 50 on the daily. It's above the 50 on the 50. This does drop. We definitely need to see a short-term break of structure to look for any type of sells. So like I want to see it break here first. Once it breaks there, it'll pull back. And if it pulls back into that zone again, that's when you look for the next drop, right? So, and it is divergent. It is overbought. Price is going up. Price is going down. And this actually extends a little lower. So it starts there. That's a divergence. But you don't want to just buy it right now or sell it actually, because it still hasn't reversed. Once it breaks that structure, that's your first sign of a reversal. That's when you start looking for it. So until then, don't sell it, only look for buys. But until that happens, then you can start looking for sells for the pullback. That's what I would do. And then you said the NASDAQ. I don't trade that pair. Where the heck is it? On the indices. Got the US 30 already on there. I don't think I have it on this one. No. I don't have it. Oh, maybe it's shares. Nope. US 100. Oh, it's the same. See, that's how you know I don't trade it. I don't even know the name of it. There you go. Actually, boom, boomsies. All right. Clear uptrend. Weekly, still an uptrend. I got no sign of this thing going down. Everything says buys. And it broke highs. Still above. It's a little divergent. If it does drop, it's a pullback. Weekly, that's the 4 hour. So this could drop short term. Like this. Another location. It didn't break this low though. So it's not a confirmed sell. I would wait for it to confirm it. But usually when price gets to where it's at between this water and this mayo, it tends to go between them. So you have a little bit of open volatility place. So you could sell that. But it's not confirmed. Right. It didn't break this low. Right there. Right. So it stayed above it. So it's still above the low, which technically still means buy. Right now it's doing a shark fin. And if it does do this, we'll see it drop. I mean, it is divergent. Is it divergent on the 1 hour? Yeah, look at that. So this does look good. It looks like a multi-day M in a sense. So you got like a M here, right? And then if you go to the 1 hour, you have a head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, drop. Won't always look, perfect, but what leads to a head and shoulders is the divergence. That's what starts it. So overbought, shark fin, divergence. Looks good, man. I mean, look at this. See what happened here? Divergence, overbought, clear as day, shark fin, just like this, shark fin, shark fin. And this played out. Went up and tanked. Went gonna go up and then tank. Where to? Where did it go? Right to the Mayo. So you can see the same thing happen. Go right up, tank. So yeah, that's what I see potentially happening. Those look good. I'm not gonna trade this pair, but if I start ending up being right, that'd be fucking awesome. So let me do this into that zone, into the psychological zone, and then drop. That'll be a nice setup if I get this right. I'll come back to these and look at them. All right, cool. Anybody else want to look at certain pairs? I mean, Euro AUD. Yeah, I didn't want to touch this pair last night. I was like, it's too low. It could consolidate. And it literally didn't do shit except consolidate. Like nothing. How many pips is that? 53, 54 pips. I mean, you could have caught that, but you'd have been on a smaller time frame to catch that whole move. NZDJPY. And I had this for a buy this whole time. I missed all this back then. It was the last week. Took it out. Hey, you live and you learn. NZD CAD. This one doesn't look like a solid peak formation. This looks like it's gonna go up. I don't like it for a buy or a sell, even though the peak formation says otherwise. Yeah, it's about why did it stay there? It's weird. The only thing that makes this kind of look good for a sell, though, is the simple aspect of it broke structure. It's not divergent, though. It is divergent, but it stayed within the bands. And when it stays within the bands, it does not signify a solid reversal. So I would say stick. I would say leave it. Because I don't even know what to do right now. And that's something you have to start learning is if you don't have full clarity, if you can't tell the story completely, then you got to start avoiding it. Otherwise, you're going to stress yourself out trying to paint a story to a pair that doesn't want to do the story that you're trying to get it to paint. Let it show you what it wants to do and then make your move. AD NZD? What does that look like? It's still stuck. I'll go over one more pair and then be done. AD NZD to the top. Been there. Yep. You know what it is. 1 week. It's ranging, you know. Look. Stuck. So you got price getting boggled up on a weekly. Which if you're a price action trader, you could love this and you just wait for it to give you what you want. Right. So I mean it is a nice little setup. And then we refine it a little bit more. Sorry, I'm like anal. I like to make it look good. So yeah. That looks like it needs to drop a little bit more. I wouldn't technically buy it yet, even though the peak formation is low. Well, it actually does qualify. It can qualify for that buy because it did hit off the price action. It called it a peak, which is cool. So if anything, another stop hunt low, maybe one more push down. Psychological pushes, right? You got 1, 2, one more push for level 3. Buy. So they're probably going to push down just one more time. And then we'll see a midweek reversal happen tomorrow. Not today's trading, but tomorrow. That goes back down to that peak one more time and then it reverses. CPI could push it in that direction too. So, and then I'll do one more pair. Let's look at G Chief. See how this pair is doing. G Chief. GBP Chief. Whoa. It has done nothing, man. It has been doing nada, Holmes. What in the shit? Oh, because it does. Why does it do that? Like all the formations I drew up on the other chart, it just stays. It's weird. But this is in a channel. I don't know why that's not there still, but it should be there. It's stuck in a channel. Daily channel. It's still technically an uptrend. I mean, it still has room to move if you're going off of this. Essentially. It's not the prettiest, but I mean, right? It has to, it looks like it's going to shoot up again. Even though it's divergent, it still looks like it wants to go like this. Wants to go and grab that liquidity up there. That's where all the liquidity is, all up here. You got that money trapped. They want to get that money. Money, money, money. 1 hour. Still stuck and still not trading it. So that's simple. I mean, not a lot of action tonight. I think maybe they're consolidating because of the CPI news. Like I told you, I'm still looking at my pairs. If you have US 30, look for it to be buys. If you have NAS 100 or the NASDAQ, like I mean, you guys can look for that to be sells. I don't know how they correlate. I don't know if they might go in the same direction. But I know one of you guys actually trades, or not one of you, but I think I saw a couple of you talking in the group that you only trade Euro USD. And that used to be the pair that I only traded. And it's a good pair. It just sometimes has its moves where it will not fucking do shit. It just what's Euro USD doing this week? Well, it's supposed to consolidate the next 3 months, so it's not really going to do anything, and you're just like, well, shit. So weekly, this is the last pair I'll do. Weekly, it looks like it just wants to do this, right? Whoop, 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 whoop. Like, looks like it's going to drop. Ryan, do you have a specific time to trade? Yeah, I like London session. So I like doing it around like 1 a.m. Eastern. Sometimes setups happen a little bit before, like if you are trading an Asian pair, like AUD, NZD, or JPY, like you can enter in. I'll sometimes enter in a little early because they'll make their moves sooner. So that's the only time I'll do that. But other than that, excuse me, I will trade London session. I said 1 a.m. Eastern. I did say that. Well, yeah, because I said 1 a.m. Eastern. So that's not London session. It's 3 a.m. 1 a.m. Eastern is sometimes the false moves. So I'll start looking at my chart like an hour before that or at that time. And then I can sometimes I'll actually trade during that time because there are instances, depending on the structure, where the move will happen during that time and then just continue for that whole day in that same direction. I have caught those. I actually caught some of that last week. So it's just a matter of what's available. But these are the times that I'll start to anticipate myself entering the market. I don't like really entering too early. I've noticed that when I do enter too early, I'll tend to be right, but I'll go into drawdown, and I can avoid that drawdown by simply waiting for it to go in the direction I want it to go. And that's just for me getting too excited sometimes. Like, oh yeah, I see it, it's gonna go up. And then I just enter and like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go like 1% drawdown. It's not that bad. It's not a big deal, but I definitely could avoid that if I just had patience, right? We could all avoid that shit, but we're not all perfect. So the daily, it's hitting the EMAs, it's stuck, it's ranging, it's got a level consolidation. I mean, it's actually got a really big level consolidation. Looks like it's a level 1 push from the daily. So like this would be like all of level 1 consolidation, all level 2 consolidation. Then you got a level 3. And that's the daily. So you're talking about like fucking the rest of the year. Go to the monthly. Oh, that actually looks really fucking good for us for buys. You know why? Look at this. Equal lows, liquidity. They push past it right there, formed a new low, lower low, and then they fucking turn around instantly, and for 3 months straight was just straight bullish candles. Broke the structure right here, continued up. This is going to continue up. They're not coming back down here. They're not. They're going to stay away from there. So if anything, look for buys over the rest of the year. Look for buys on Euro USD for the rest of the year. If you want to be more, you can obviously sell it if you catch the pullbacks on a higher time frame, like a 4-hour drop, which could be a whole week or two of drops, is actually just a pullback on the monthly. So like you can capture that. You just have to be precise with it. But overall, buys is the direction you really want to be looking for trades. It's in a range, so you got lows, highs. I mean, buy low, sell high. So it's at a low right now. You could buy it. But if it breaks this low, you're gonna be looking for sells. And then eventually levels will drop because once it breaks here, that's level 1. hold consolidation, level 2, consolidation, level 3, drop, rise. So just gotta wait. Just gotta wait. But right now, it hasn't really had a clear break. Yeah, it just retested it. They just grabbed some more liquidity. So they're probably gonna go up again. Most likely gonna go up. Especially since it's bullish overall and we got CPI in the morning. So the dollar is most likely going to be strong and go up. So it should be interesting. You set up your entries at 1 a.m. and close in the morning for full movement. Sometimes. Sometimes I'll let it lay out. Like yesterday, I actually was up at 4 a.m. Eastern. I was up just watching the charts and watching a show. And I was up almost 3% in profit. And I didn't take it because my mind was like, oh, it's going to keep going. And then I went to sleep and I woke up and it went back down another 2%. So I just took profit at 1% and let it go, which I should have just took the 3. But it is what it is. You leave it, you live and you learn. So I will sometimes do that. Yeah. I'll close in the morning, or I'll set a take profit and it ends up hitting the take profit either way. I don't usually like to hold trades for more than a day, but if the setup is there, I'll gladly hold it. I'll gladly hold it for a day or two, max 3. After that, it's just like, okay, what am I doing? I could be looking for other setups. So that's what I did last night. I just decided to take it, and I'll look for another setup, and I'll make the money back. I'm $12,000 away from passing phase 1, which is not that much. It's 4%. I always say that it's 4. Yeah, it's about 5%. Sorry. So it's gonna be good. But does anybody have any other questions? It's really what we're looking at. Careful the news in the morning, and from there, you guys should be good. Really not much else to go over. I'm pretty sure after tomorrow, we're going to see some new gold check marks being formed, right? So we'll go over those and then we'll have one more day of solid trading. And then we got Friday and we go from there. So if no one's got any questions, I'm going to end it here. And if you guys want to ask in the Telegram chat, go right ahead. If you're not in the Telegram chat and you're seeing this on YouTube or anywhere else, go ahead and join that chat. We talk about this stuff all the time. And be on the lookout for a new update regarding some trade alerts. It's a newer version of a dashboard that's coming out that it's not coming out next week or 2 weeks. Give it like a month or so. But there is going to be new stuff coming out that's only going to make this a whole experience better and easier for everybody. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the group chat and see you tomorrow night. Peace.